Hey, Moupali, great to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Okay, so what are some of the greatest barriers to PrEP utilization that you think are hindering the efforts to end the HIV epidemic today?
Yeah, so globally we have over 1.5 million infections a year, and that's unacceptable. PrEP options have been approved since as early as 2012 in the United States. So that's over 10 years ago, over a decade ago. And over that decade, we've seen about 6 million people try an option for PrEP. But the challenge with PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis for HIV prevention, is that unfortunately, people often have trouble starting it. The uptake has been low. Not nearly the 10 million people that UNAIDS say should be on PrEP are on PrEP globally. And once they start taking it, they have trouble adhering to it. For the daily forms, it's hard for people, especially young people or people who have competing priorities or complicated lives, to take daily pills. And it's hard for people to persist. So, uptake, adherence, and persistence, those are the challenges. And because of that, the people who want or need PrEP aren't taking it. And that is leading to ongoing new HIV infections and that burden of 1.5 million a year.
In particular, why are women such an important group for HIV researchers to focus on right now?
Women are disproportionately affected by HIV. If you live in the United States, that might not be as apparent because in the United States and in certain countries in the world, we have key populations who are disproportionately affected by HIV. And that could be gay and bi and other men who have sex with men, or transgender women who are disproportionately affected by HIV, specifically in the United States. But if we look globally, and particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, women, especially young women, adolescent girls and young women, are disproportionately affected by HIV. And in fact, women are so disproportionately affected by HIV that when we did our study, we focused on the young age group because as people get older, it's harder to find people who haven't acquired HIV yet because more and more people are living with HIV as they age. And by aging here, I mean into their late 20s, early 30s.
So, what findings at AIDS 2024 have you seen so far that you think have the greatest implications for HIV prevention research?
Well, I think most significant findings here were the results of the Purpose One trial. I think that that trial may have a transformational impact on the epidemic. And in sub-Saharan Africa, in particular, uh, pregnant women and pregnant and lactating people are disproportionately affected by HIV infection. The risk of acquiring HIV is very high during pregnancy, and adolescent girls are disproportionately affected because of all of the reasons I shared before. And I think one of the transformational aspects of the Purpose One trial, whose landmark results were presented here by Linda Gale Becker, is that that trial included 16 and 17-year-olds for the first time in an adult pivotal phase 3 trial. Moreover, supported people in their reproductive choices. If they did not desire pregnancy, it was not required to take two forms of contraception, which is often required in other HIV clinical treatment trials and prevention trials. In the Purpose trial, it was not required to take contraception, but if you did not desire pregnancy, it was provided for you. So we had over 500 pregnancies in a trial of approximately 5,300 women, which is really a tremendous amount of data. Usually it takes 10 years to get data about pregnancy and adolescence into the labels of medications for HIV treatment. Here we have information about pregnancy and adolescence, safety and efficacy at the same time as we have it in the general population of adolescent girls and young women. So that's a real important part of why that trial was so important.
Moupali Das, thank you so much for your time. This has been a really interesting conversation.